Okay, Nati, pagsabot. For hundreds of thousands of years, the forests have been living with fire. They have made a place for fire, weaving a dance of earth and sky, sun and wind. All living beings, animals and plants, people and trees, flowers and birds, have been making a place for themselves in the dance, and a place for fire. To know the story of this dance, we listen. Fire speaks the land, and the land speaks fire.
Lightning strikes, sparks of fire on sight. The people camping by get flooded with fright by the sudden ignite. Then air question what might happen if it burns all night? It might go high while the full-fledged forest fire that might just burn for miles and miles and miles. It might just get too mighty to fight, right? We got to put it out right now at first sight, right? See we can flame before they all unite. The fire starts to dance and dances on what? A Lucifer slide, try and see it with your eyes. This light stays alive by the light inside. Pine needles, shrubs, trees, dry leaves provide a quick meal and it sparks the choice to survive. They all unite and with the dread that swap. Fire speaks the land and the land replies. If it burns, then the heat releases. The ember waves are radiating dance through the trees. The flames are getting harder as the fire starts to breathe. It's growing right in front of us, we look and disbelieve. The fire it breathes on, creates its own song. Oxygen, wind blowing, feeds and eats on. With the fuel it feeds on, it proceeds on. Storm brewing, spreading and it won't be too long. It's spotting up ahead now, it's torched its way along. Now it's full blown, as soon as it's long gone. Crossing up and talking here, we already we're all alone. What we gonna do? Now it's moving on so strong. Burning logs and everything is combustion. It's conduction with convection. Turning green to black quick as eyes change direction. Next is the wreckage, smoking ash will make it hectic. But if we act fast, we got the chance to stop it. We'll save the day, get the water and drop it. You will grab the bucket, fill it up to the top it. Will surely be our only chance to squash it. Cool down the heat with the water from the creek. Put out the fire, save the forest, save the trees. Let's shout and celebrate for all our good deeds. Let's dance around in joy and happiness and jubilee. Put it out, yo, we put it up, put it up, put it up. Let the people shout, put it up, yo, we put it up. Now we can learn what it's all about. Put it up, yo, we put it up, put it up, put it up. Let the people shout. Now we know for sure what it's all about. Fire speaks the land and that's what it's about.
I say, was there a fire nearby?
Yeah, it was right here. We put it out.
Yes, I see. A creepy crawly fire, was it?
It was. Wow. Are you a detective?
No, I'm a scientist. I study forests and the story of this land. Was this fire threatening you?
No, but fire is bad.
Yeah. We're always supposed to put out a fire.
Well, you do need to protect yourselves and other people camping nearby. Fire can be dangerous if you're not careful. For the last 100 years or so, humans have tried to control fire because we needed to protect our homes. We began to think of fire as bad, a real villain, something for us to fight. But as it turns out, there's more to the story than that.
Fire has a voice too.
One we need to listen to as we live the story of this land. Fire speaks the land.
And the land speaks fire.
Fire belongs here. It ran free across this land long before people came.
And when the first people came, they used fire as their tool.
Fire cleared the land. It cooked their food.
It kept them warm and lighted the cold, dark nights. Gave them a place to gather.
And heard their stories. Today, fire still belongs here. In the community we share. Trees and meadows, animals and people. We all need fire.
Let's look at how fire works. Fire needs three things to burn: fuel, heat, and oxygen.
The fire triangle!
Fuel, heat, oxygen. 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 Fuel. Heat. Oxygen, fuel, heat, oxygen, fuel, heat, oxygen, fuel. Heat. Oxygen. Fuel, heat, oxygen. Fuel, heat, oxygen.
A fire needs fuel, heat, and oxygen to be a fire. Just like a triangle needs all three sides to be a triangle. Take away any of the sides, and the fire goes away.
I have a burning question. What do you mean, fuel? Gasoline?
Well, sure, but in the forest, when we say fuel, we mean grasses, needles, and twigs. Leaves, branches, trees, anything that will burn. Now heat.
Holy smokes, it was sure hot when the fire was here.
But where did the heat come from?
Were you kids playing with matches?
No!
Did you forget to pour water on your campfire last night and stir it until it was cold mud?
No!
Was there a thunderstorm
Yes!
with lightning?
Yes!
That must have been spectacular! Lightning is filled with heat. When lightning strikes, the temperature of the air around it can reach 54,000 degrees Fahrenheit. That is 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun. When it touched your tree, boom! It ignited the fire.
And there's oxygen in all this air.
That's right! And wind is air on the move. Wind influences a wildfire in many ways. Think about starting your campfire last night. When you blew on it, what happened?
It burned bigger.
Because you were using air to push heat into the twigs you gathered to start the fire.
Fuel.
Heat. Oxygen. Wind helps wildfires grow in exactly the same way. It can also carry burning embers out ahead of the fire, starting little spot fires.
Needs fuel, heat, and oxygen.
We do too.
What do you mean, Ashley?
Well, before a performance like this, we always heat up our muscles by stretching and doing a warm-up. And during the show, we sure take in a lot of oxygen, which we're always taking in oxygen. And after performance, we always like to refuel with a good snack. One of my favorites is a banana and some chocolate milk.
Yeah. It took us over a year to choreograph Fire Speaks the Land. I'll bet you're noticing many of the choices that we've made. At times, you've seen solos, like the Scientist solo, Danced by Joy. The Campers duet, danced by Ashley and Caitlin. The Fire Triangle Trio, danced by Allison, Joy, and Katie. The Quartet from the opening of our program. And when we have all 5 dancers on stage together, it's a quintet. Dancers use counts to coordinate their movements.
5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
As the audience, you'll notice the dancers move in many, many different ways. They've learned to fall safely to the floor. And they've practiced moving fluidly along the floor. But sometimes dancers don't move at all. They freeze in a shape. Dancers can make stillness look very alive. You can watch for how we use these dance elements in the next part of our program.
As I was saying, when a fire is burning in the forest, the heat spreads in 3 ways: by convection, conduction, and radiation. Fire burns from low to high because heat likes to rise. We call this convection. That's why fire on the ground can sometimes climb trees. Fire also spreads through conduction. That's when a burning branch touches another branch. When trees are close together and touching, fire can pass from tree to tree. Another way fire moves is by radiation. Some fires are so intense, they throw waves of heat through space, causing objects that aren't even touching the fire to burst into flames. The sun radiates heat, which you can feel on your face. Good thing it's not hot enough to make us burst into flames.
And there'll always be another
was dancing with the earth, a beautiful, soaring, whirling spiral. Red molten rock, pulsing, teetering, plates colliding, slabs melting, lava thrown skyward, bubbling rivers of rock spilling everywhere, hardening into land. Over time, plants and trees, insects and animals, all living beings join the dance. And for millions of years they moved together, circles of beauty, shaping space, finding balance. Anything that dances with fire changes. Fire is transformation.
Ponderosa pines learned to reach tall and spread their branches high and wide. They send their roots deep into the earth and grow thick bark, all to resist the fire. When fire dances with ponderosa pine forests, it creeps through the needles and grasses and crawls up the low shrubs. These creepy-crawly fires burn the ground fuels and the little fur who crowd in under the huge old trees. The animals flee to escape the fire. Creepy-crawly fires keep the forest open under the big trees. Soon after the fire, the arrowleaf balsam root, bunch grasses, and other plants send up new shoots from their deep roots. The animals come back to nibble in the tender, fresh leaves. Frequent, low-intensity fires help the ponderosa pine forest thrive.
Lodgepole pines love to dance together in tall, skinny stands, their upper branches intertwining and their trunks close together. When a fire starts in the lodgepole pine forest, things heat up fast. Flames leap and run from tree to tree, huge sheets of fire crowding and devouring the canopy, swaths of lodgepole gobbled in one great gulp. Till there's nothing left but charred snags and ashy ground. Rip-roaring treetop fires burn bright and hot.
Lodgepole pines love this kind of fire. They make a special kind of cone which needs fire to open. These serotinous cones are sealed in a waxy resin which melts away in the hot fire. Carried on their papery wings by the wind, lodgepole seeds fall from the cones and scatter, blend into the burned ground. In the spring, when the earth is moist and the sun warms their sooty beds, the lodgepole take root and shoot up again, along with hundreds of others, all crowding together, growing straight and skinny and tall to wait for the next rip-roaring fire.
Even higher up the mountain, all the way up to the tree line, we find white bark pine forests. It's cold and windy up here. The gnarled white bark pine grow in scattered clumps of 2 to 5 trees with space in between. Their branches curve upwards with the cones held high. The ground is rocky, filled with carpets of short plants. Here, fire dances like a roller coaster, smoldering and creeping around the dried carpet of plants and grasses, then crawling up the low shrubs, into the trees, speeding faster and torching the white bark pine tops, then dropping to the ground again to smolder and creep to the next cluster of trees and reach and torch the treetops and drop to the ground to smolder and creep to the next.
The white bark pine have found a special way to live with fire. Their seeds are heavy and can't ride the wind like lodgepole seeds. They need a little help moving around. The Clark's Nutcracker thinks these seeds taste great. It uses its strong beak to pry open the cones and pluck out the pine nuts. It holds them in a special pouch under its tongue and flies off to bury them in hidden caches. As it turns out, one of the best places to stash seeds is where a roller coaster fire has burned. Clark's Nutcrackers are constantly on the move, flying thousands of nuts to hundreds of hiding spots. All winter long, the birds come back to their caches and eat the seeds. In the spring, they feed them to their young. Some caches get eaten by other animals, but a few of the hidden treasures are left alone and soon sprout into clusters of new trees, making white bark pine one of the first species to come back after a fire. They grow slow and steady, waiting hundreds of years for the next roller coaster fire to find them.
Our ancestors taught us it was important to waste nothing and take only what was needed. The people knew that we were put here to take care of what we'd been given: plants, animals, water, and the forests themselves. One of their most powerful tools for taking care of things was fire. Our ancestors understood how to use fire. They knew when to burn to increase food and medicinal plants. They knew which kind of fire would improve forage for game animals like deer and elk, bighorn sheep, buffalo, antelope, and bear. They burned meadows so their horses would have plenty of succulent grass. They used fire to hunt, and they used it in warfare. They reduced fuel around their camps and cleared trails with fire. The plant and animal communities we have inherited today, the very landscape we live on, is a legacy shaped by thousands of years of tribal use of fire. Forests and prairies dance in a big circle with the rhythm of growth, burn, and regrowth. When we try to stop all fire, to exclude it completely, we upset the balance, we break the circle, we disrupt the cycle of life. this land, and we must learn to live with fire. Fire speaks the land, and the land speaks fire. Protect the monks. I have spoken.